Welcome to Six's Overdrive, everybody. Well, we've got 8,950 kilometers here on Dr. Zook, my beautiful DR 650. So we're going to give you a comprehensive review of what I like and dislike about this bike right after the music. Well guys, welcome back. We've got all of our cameras going here. We're going to give you shots of just about everything, as well as I've got some ride footage coming up for you on the bike just to show you some different things about it. Let's get right into this review. It's going to be quick, but you'll know just about everything you want to know about the bike. First of all, everybody wants to know why this over a KLR, or why a KLR over the DR 650. After riding both bikes, I put over 40,000 kilometers on a KLR 650 that I had a couple years ago. And let me tell you, the difference between the bikes is night and day. This one's a lot more light and nimble off-road. KLR will do just about everything this will off-road, but it's a lot heavier. And it's a lot more sluggish off-road. This one really comes to life off-road, whereas on the highway, the KLR is miles ahead of this. And also, you can ride a KLR for most intensive purposes stock right out of the box, and it's just great. To make this one any good on the highway, you're going to have to do quite a few different mods to it. So that's basically it. If you're buying this, if you're choosing between the KLR and the DR 650, you really have to think to yourself, do you want a play bike, or is it maybe your all do-it-all kind of bike? If it's your do-it-all bike and you want to go occasionally trail riding, but you're going to get to the highways and stuff like that as well and go touring, then the KLR is probably your better bet. However, if you've got another bike like I do and you want to go touring, this will do touring as well as the KLR does dirt. This will succeed. It'll go everywhere the KLR will on a road. Once you get the bigger tank, it'll be great. But you got to realize it gives up a lot in comfort to the KLR, but it'll still do it. So it's kind of one of those things, what do you want to focus on being more comfortable on the road or the dirt? I chose the dirt. I have street bikes, and this bike here really excels over the KLR in the dirt. Like I said, both of them will do both just fine. But you'll feel way more at home on this, on the dirt, and you'll feel way more at home on the KLR on the road. First things that you want to change right away when you go to a DR 650. Number one would be the fuel tank. You'll notice right away that I've got the Acerbis 20-liter tank on here, and that's a very nice tank. That'll give you some long distance riding. The other tank is only about 11 liters, and it doesn't get you very far. Second thing you want to change on this bike is it comes stock with a little bit of wonky bars. You want to either change your bars to raise them up if you're going to be doing a lot of dirt riding. And what I did was I just moved mine forward. You can see by the bar there in the middle that I pushed my bars way forward, put my levers down so that when I stand up it works really well. If you're going to be using the bike as intended for more more a little bit on the highway and the occasional dirt little trail, then you can stick with those stock tires. However, I went with the, originally, I've already got about 7,000 kilometers on the, on my first set of D606 Dunlops, and I had those, and they were a great tire. They're a little squirrely on-road, but not too bad off-road. They're fairly confident. This time you can see that I'm running a Pirelli. That's an MT21 on the front and a D606 on the back. And that's the combo we're going to try right away. Okay? We just put those tires on about 300 or 400 kilometers ago. And so far so good. They're working well. I've got to drain them a little bit for any kind of serious off-road work. Seat is a big one, especially if you're a short guy like me. This seat is is definitely something you're going to want to take a look at. I went with the seat concepts and I got it with the pan. That way if I ever want to sell it, I've still got the original tank and the original seat with it. I don't have to pull it apart. There's a bit of labor involved to just ordering the seat kit with the foam and then using your own pan. And then you're kind of tossing out the old one. The old one's pretty much a butt buster. Alright, this one here I got from Seat Concepts is a low version. For a short guy like me, you don't have to modify the suspension at all on this. Another great mod is reducing the teeth in the sprocket on the front, going down to a 14 tooth. Some guys, they'll actually go up. Now I find this a fairly good mod on the KLR because it's pretty decent on the highway. This bike here on the highway, anywhere, the gearing just seems a little bit too tall. If you want to get that front wheel up, especially in the dirt, you're going to want to go to that 14 tooth sprocket. It really does pick up the handling, and not only that, but it makes it a lot better for passing on the highway. It ends up being a very good bike with just that little drop to the 14 tooth. Okay? You'll also notice that I did a couple things, like up in here we got rid of this little chain stop roller. Apparently so I removed this little chain roller here. Some people say that's good, some people say that's bad. I've seen a lot of forums do it. Another thing to eliminate is the kickstand sensor. I disconnected that up into the seat here, and that worked out really nice. Apparently the kickstand will bounce when you're going on some harder off-road trails, and it'll shut your engine down, and that's a real pain when you're going up a hill and you get stuck at the top of the hill. Everything else on this bike is fairly stock, guys. I didn't go too crazy. There's a lot of people who really want to change the suspension, and I really found the bike is really quite good off-road. It's heavy compared to a dirt bike, but you got to remember where that slows you down in the dirt a bit. It also makes it a lot more comfortable on the highway when you're getting pushed around by wind. A lot of people put windshields. You guys know my thoughts on windshields. I don't like them. I like motorcycles for their raw appeal. But that's up to you again. Putting on an exhaust is another great mod. The exhaust on a DR650 is very heavy, and you'll find you can save immediately like 10 pounds worth of weight just by going with that mod alone. Obviously I went with the FMF Q4, and it's been a great pipe so far. About 8,000 kilometers on it, and it's still good. It's got a really nice sound to it, but not overbearingly loud. It's a great little pipe. I didn't go with any of the luggage racks here, guys, anywhere, because as you know, I like to just strap things on with bungee straps, and so I kept off the luggage rack for now. We'll see if I change that later. I also went with the little vent cap. They have a purple one that comes with the Acerbis tank, so I went with that as well. You can also get an IMS tank. I'd recommend the tanks on this. When they're full, it's a little harder to wheelie the bike. And on that note, the bike will wheelie. It's a lot better than the KLR at that. But if you're a novice guy and you have a hard time wheeling, especially in the dirt, this thing is still pretty heavy and underpowered. So you're going to have to put some muscle and some throttle into getting that front end off the ground. And you might get wheel spin in the dirt when you're trying to get that front end off the ground. At least if you're bad at wheeling like I am. The dash is very simple. I have a GPS, so it's not a big deal for me. But that dash, no clock, no fuel consumption or gauge or anything on it. It's pretty simple. I really like to have my GPS here. It gives me a lot of direction, and it also just so I know exactly what speed I'm going, what time of the day it is. Stupid things like that you really start to miss, especially when you own street bikes and they have all that information at your disposal. Anyway, guys, that's my review on the Suzuki DR650. I hope that's comprehensive enough for you. If you have any questions, though, put them in the comments below. As always, this is just a one-off review. I do this kind of unscripted, so if you want to know more about it, feel free to comment below. Remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe, guys. This is Six's Overdrive, and I'm saying bye-bye.